So today I'll be reviewing Pokemon Journeys episode 115, The Curtain Rises, the Masters 8 tournament. In this episode we get the start of the Masters 8 tournament featuring the battle with Leon vs Alain, so let's talk about it. So the episode starts off with Ash and Go arriving at Wyndham Stadium in Galar, where Ash is instantly challenged to a battle by Leon's brother Hop, and Pikachu takes out his Wooloo with basically zero effort, which makes sense since Ash is a Masters 8 member, and Hop looks like he's at the start of his journey in the anime. I thought it was weird that they waited this long to introduce him since he's your rival in the games and an important character in the Sword and Shield story, but it seems like Go kinda just took his role during the Darkest Day arc, and Ash isn't traveling in Galar, so it's somewhat understandable. After that we see Team Rocket, who are live streaming the World Championships for their radio show, which is reminiscent of their job at the Kalos League, which I thought was pretty cool. Then we switch over to Ash, who meets Iris as they're making their way inside, and as they walk into the room yelling, everyone kinda looks towards them, and in that brief moment you can tell that they were feeling the intensity of the moment based on their reactions, which I thought was pretty telling. After that we get the Masters 8 introduction, starting off with Ash, and they officially announce him as the first champion of Alola, which I thought was absolutely incredible and amazing, since this is something I've been wanting for a long time. If anyone had any doubts about it before, there's no question about it now. Ash Ketchum of Pallet Town is an officially registered champion of the Pokemon League. This was a small moment within the episode and yet a very impactful one because of the history of Ash and how long it took him to get here, so I thought this was worth mentioning, especially because it's my favorite moment within the episode. After that they introduce Iris and Alain, who they call the adventurer known for excavating megastones, which I thought was interesting for two reasons. One, because it tells us what he's been up to since they last departed, and two, it explains how he got new stones after giving up his. We also get a moment where Ash and Alain give each other a look and a head nod to acknowledge each other, which I thought was cool, but I do still hope we get a conversation between the two before the tournament ends. After that we get Diantha, Lance, Steven, and Cynthia's introductions, followed by Leon, who gets the biggest, and says his opening words, which are to bring it on, me and my Pokemon will take down all comers, which was the hypest part of the introductions. Then we get all the confirmed matchups for the first round, with Cynthia telling Iris to go easy on her and Steven being interested in battling Ash, and afterwards we see all the champions together getting ready to watch the first battle, and Cynthia asks where Ash is, and Iris says that he went to go watch it in person, and Iris says that she didn't go because she wanted to take a picture with Cynthia and Diantha. Then we get a short conversation with Lance and Steven where Lance asks about Alain, and Steven says that he hopes that Alain doesn't get overwhelmed since he's facing Leon this early. Then we get to the battle, and during Alain's introductions we get to see Maron and Professor Sycamore, who are watching from Kalos, which I thought was great, and while they're explaining the rules, the judge for the battle stated that you may each use 3 Pokemon each for the first round, which leads me to believe that my theory about the final round being a 6-on-6 is likely correct. I'm not sure about the semifinals, but I would like them to use more Pokemon the further we go into this, even if it's only one more Pokemon in the second round. So then the battle begins, and it starts off with Alain using Chestnut and Leon using Rillaboom, and Alain wastes no time and goes in for the attack, which doesn't do much, and Leon doesn't miss a beat either and responds by Gigantamaxing Rillaboom for the sole purpose of hyping up the crowd, and Alain's Chestnut was able to do well by overcoming some of Rillaboom's Gigantamax moves, but even after its Gigantamax ran out, it lost to Rillaboom's Acrobatics, which was 4 times effective against it. So then Alain sends out his Charizard, which one-shots Leon's Rillaboom, and Leon responds by sending out Charizard, so Alain switches into Malamar, who gets absolutely destroyed by Charizard before being able to do anything. So then we get a 1v1 Charizard battle with Leon versus Alain, and Alain says that it was his dream to battle Leon's Charizard and surpass it, so he Mega Evolves his into Mega Charizard X, and I'm expecting a really good showdown in Clash, but Leon had different plans, since his Charizard took a Dragon Claw, and before Alain could even respond again with Flare Blitz, Leon's Charizard took it out with the Dragon Pulse and ends the battle with one shot. After the battle, Alain says that he'll retrain himself and be back, and Leon says that he'll be waiting, and the episode ends with us getting Lance and Diantha, who are getting ready to battle. So before I talk about the battle, let's talk about the overall episode. I thought it was cool seeing Hop get introduced in this episode, even though it feels like it was very late. I also thought it was great seeing all the champions interact and Ash getting officially recognized this one, with Iris being there at his side. When it comes to Maron and Professor Sycamore, I thought them being in this episode was great, although I do wish they had a few lines at the start or at the end of the episode. But this does give me hope that we'll see everyone else watching Ash in the World Championships, including May, even if her voice actor isn't present. Now let's talk about the battle. I was expecting Alain to lose and for Leon to be dominant as the world champion, and that's exactly what happened. The beginning of the battle with the grass type starters was good, but the final with Alain's Mega Charizard X was somewhat disappointing. It's not the fact that Mega Charizard lost to base Charizard, since that's not out of the realm of possibility, but how it lost was strange because of how quickly it happened. The battle was portrayed how I thought it would go, but I thought it was just too short, with Mega Charizard only being around for about 1 minute and only getting 1 attack in. I would have preferred to have seen it attack more and fail before getting finished off instead of just a one-shot attack. especially since we got more than that in Raihan vs Leon back in episode 27. It's hard for me to believe that Raihan, who's ranked 9th right now, is somehow better than Alain, who's ranked 6th. I'm not sure if time was holding back the battle, but the ending did feel somewhat abrupt, even if Leon was supposed to dominate the battle. Aside from that, the episode was pretty good overall, so I give it an 8 out of 10 since this is what I was expecting. With that being said, what are your thoughts on the episode and the battle in general? The anime is going to be on break for 2 weeks, but I'll still be uploading Pokemon Masters 8 discussions, so be sure to stay tuned for that. Thanks for watching, and bye.